We're going to go ahead and do a reading specifically for twin flames, for the divine feminine, for the divine masculine, to see what is going on. Today we have a beautiful Venus with our moon conjunction. So our moon is actually in Scorpio, forming a conjunction with Venus in Scorpio. This is bringing an intense energy, but a beautiful energy to help you to tap into your inner desires. Venus is powerful. It rules relationships, and it also has a huge influence on the type of relationships that we will have or attract into our life, and the type of relationship lessons that we're going to have within our lifetime too. Now, when it's combined with the moon is very, very powerful too for bringing up, you're going to hate this, fears that we may need to deal with. But also the moon is a very powerful emotional connector. It helps us to really tap into and tune into other people and to emotionally connect with them. So we have a beautiful alignment today. It's actually really, really positive for your love life and for your finances. You want to be tapping into these energies. We also are going to be continuing to move through a geomagnetic storm this weekend. We can probably even expect, we'll say a couple more, right? At least one more, maybe a couple more X flares too, probably today and tomorrow. We've already had a couple that are kind of hitting us. The energies are quite high right now. So we're going to start with a reading for the divine feminine just to see what is going on. Remember, this is just a general reading, but I like to put these out there just to see what is going on for the collective. This is why I encourage you to do the one-on-one readings on my website. Those are phone calls. You can do them as often as you need them. I am an energy healer. I have a ton of healings, clearings, and activations on my website. Make sure that you're doing those too. They'll really, really help you. I also do twin flame coaching, which is great for helping you through the process. It's going to help you to heal deeper things that are coming up and to shift things. So check out everything that I have on my website, sparksofdivinelightehealing.com. We are moving, well, we've already shifted into October, which is a powerful month spiritually, especially as we move into the second half of the month. Now, with today's alignment, make sure you're tapping into your intuition. If you are a twin flame, also know that all paths are, it doesn't matter what path each of you are on, they're all going to lead you into union. Doesn't matter what direction you're going. We have a lot of thinking about and reflecting on your relationships right now, energy coming up as we're in this alignment. I always love when we have Venus lunar conjunctions. They're always very, very powerful. We want to be tapping into this Libra season energy for healing our love life too. It can bring us a lot of, we'll say, inner balance and harmony, but also in our relationships. All right, so we're going to start with a reading for the divine feminine just to see what is going on. Divine feminine collective, like I said, just take what resonates, leave the rest. But divine masculine, if you're watching, direct messages from your feminine. Time passes, but my feelings don't change, even though you no longer trust me with your heart. And you know, with twin flame, like, the feelings remain. This is like, I'm always studying, I'll call it a phenomena, right, of twin flame, okay? I'm getting a lot of information and downloads and insights, as you guys know. So when I'm looking into this, I just saw something this morning, a video, and I clicked it on, like it was just a video, like a reel, and I clicked it on social media, and it was talking about a girl was saying that her partner had left her after 2 years, and they were telling her why, that they had feelings for someone else. It was someone they had been with a long time ago, and they told the current partner that they were breaking up with them and that they could no longer be with them because this other person just made them feel things that they couldn't. And I was like, oh my God, twin flames. They were like, what? Okay. Like, right? There is one person for you out of billions of people on this planet during this time. Now, the thing is that we oftentimes, we've all had other relationships and karmic partnerships. Usually these are the things that have messed us up in the past, right? And there's usually karmic pull because oftentimes we had to go through a certain amount of lessons in our love life to find our twin flame and to be ready at that level. You guys are going to, know they come into your reality when you're ready, usually without any warning and unexpected and things like that. Now, it depends on how this will go with your twin flame, if you just end up right in union or there's other things that may play out. It depends, right? But this person is going to make you feel like no one else. Now, the thing with when we're in other types of connections, when time passes, it'll break the connection. Because if it's a connection based just solely on karma or karmic bond with karmic partners, what happens is there's usually that initial attraction. You come together and you're actually, with any partner on planet Earth, you're working through certain karmic lessons. Even the flame, you're working through certain karmic lessons and challenges and things that you need to clear. So any of your previous karmic connections were actually to clear some type of karmic baggage. You even do this deeper work with your twin flame, but on a much deeper level in a different way. And so with the karmics, the connection will go once it's over, and you're going to know that. Now with your twin flame, oftentimes, and this is where it can get confusion, you guys might even go into separation cycles. Usually what happens is one person will leave the connection or run, usually the masculine, not all the time. Usually it's the more unawakened one too. Not all the time, but usually they are triggered when this happens. So they usually check out of the relationship or run or take off and things like that. Just kind of depends. Throwing you into a separation cycle. This is where a lot of upheaval comes up and a lot of inner work. Now there's different types of twin flames. The ones that share the deepest connection, share that higher self too. They share that spiritual soul connection. And you guys are always feeling the same things. The more you connect to your spiritual self or your soul self too, and it can put you in a lot of upheaval and a lot of healing, and it can be hard to understand. True twin flames will always come back together. It doesn't matter how long it takes, and you'll be able to pick up right where you left off. Like, you might think that the feelings are gone if you guys have been apart for a long time, but they're still always there with this type of connection. The love is always there. Twin flames are actually very angelic in nature. And now the problem is that when we're trying to love on that angelic unconditional love, is that oftentimes I don't want to say we're messed up when it comes to love and how we're loving another person. Oftentimes we've been taught, especially as the divine feminine, to put this person before us and pour everything into them or whatever it is. Twin flame is to help us to heal and neutralize some of these toxic patterns that we all carry around love and the old paradigm of love on planet Earth. So the separations serve a purpose so that you can really, really love yourself, heal yourself of any lacks or anything you need to work on in other areas of your life generally. And because when we are in a relationship, sometimes we're expecting a little too much from our partner. And instead of pouring all of our, love into this person, we are meant to pour it into ourselves so that we can reflect that energy outward into the twin flame connection. And so oftentimes we don't realize it when you do meet your twin flame. Sometimes you're holding more core wounds and traumas than we like to think, or karmic baggage or whatever it is that we need to work through. So usually you go into this beautiful euphoric love bubble state, and then sometimes you can push apart and do separations. Everyone is different, but generally that is something in common that twin flames share. They usually go through those spaces. If you are navigating one of those spaces, and it's not always just one, it could be however, or you're spending a lot of time apart from your twin flame, but you're together, make sure that you're really, really just working on your healing. And the more that you do, it's going to really help the entire dynamic of your twin flame. So we are in Libra season, and the universe is all about balance. This is what Libra represents too. And so this is especially true between lovers. I have a lot of people I help, and they're like, well, I don't know if my twin flame's doing the work or whatever, and things like that. If you are doing the inner work, if you are healing yourself, if you are making changes, if you are working on your spiritual growth and doing things, it will affect the other side, especially when it comes to lovers, as the universe is all about balance and balance in the dynamic. So when it only takes one twin flame to really, really be doing that work, and it will really help with the whole of it all, right? Now, even if you think that they're not doing the inner work on their side, they are, and that there's a time of like deep reflection happening on planet Earth and awakening happening. They are. Life is always leading us through certain lessons. So just trust in the process right now, divine feminine, no matter what is coming up or going on for you. I'm working on myself so I can give you the love and relationship that you deserve. It's all about becoming a better partner and a person for this connection. And you're being guided to really work on yourself during this time. And I know you usually you're ready to pour all that love into your twin flame, and that's the hardest part sometimes in these spaces. You're being guided to work a little bit more, a little bit extra on your healing in areas you may need it in your life. Now, twin flame is to help you to see your blind spots, to shine a light on your shadows and the work that needs to be done. And sometimes this is energetic, obviously, and healing, but sometimes it's other areas of your life that you need to work on and to heal and to up level, like the whole of your life and things like that. You were my home, and now I feel like I'm out in the cold. And I was thinking, you know, home isn't much of a home without your person there. Like, some of you guys are feeling like left out in the cold. This could be your person shutting you out, not communicating enough, not telling you how they feel, distance, avoidance, just kind of depends on how this is manifest. Some of you guys, we have a lot of Scorpio, Pluto energy coming up right now too. We'll get into that a little bit later in the reading of how this is manifest. So it's intensifying things in a good way. If you guys are in union, you're going to be feeling extra good right now, right? And there's going to be extra magnetic attraction. If you're apart, extra shadow work coming up. Your silence feels safer to me. I don't want to get hurt again. This person might be ignoring you, shutting you out, silent treatment, not communicating. Just kind of depends. I let my ego get in the way. I couldn't let go of my pride, but you saw through me. You know the truth about me. And this brings up a lot of ego aspects too, right? And things like that. So you might be working on some of those aspects, Divine Feminine. I fantasize about getting a second chance with you. And this is like a reoccurring message on Divine Feminine side. Many of you guys are so ready for union. Like you were ready when you met this person. And it might have been like a big process that you're going through. And you're ready to do union. You want to redo. You want to do it over. You want to do it right this time. So this is like new beginning vibes coming up. Okay, so this isn't for everyone, but for some, I've committed to someone else because they don't challenge me. We might have karmics in the picture. I've been seeing that a lot throughout the collective and things like that. This might be clearing work you need to do. This could be if you have old partners coming up. For some, because I've seen a few flames going through that, it means you need to close the door and clear these attachments or karmic attachments, right? Or, you know, some of you guys, you know, it depends. Some people are married when they meet their twin flame or in other connections. It just depends on the design that you're going through and stuff like that. Just be mindful of your energy and your energy exchanges right now, Divine Feminine. Sometimes in these spaces, you're being guided to put your energy fully into yourself and your focus on yourself. My soul recognizes yours and longs to be with you. All right, and you know that you have such a soul recognition. That's part of Twin Flames. You really, really recognize this person. And you know that this is your person. Although sometimes you guys question it because of the process. All right, I'm afraid of commitment. And I'll go back to that. You'll know this is your person because you won't want anyone else, like since you met them. It's changed something, right? It's changed a lot. We'll just say that. Okay, I'm afraid of commitment. And this might be something your twin flame is reflecting back to you. And this might be like fear around, we say vulnerability, being yourself, committing fully to this connection. There might be some reason that you never came together yet and you're just noticing that, like you're just tuning into that. Like, and usually I put it down to ego excuses. So if you're getting a lot of ego excuses of why you can't be together right now from your person, or you're giving them to your person, comes down to fear of fully being with this person, being in union and commitment. We're clearing the fear with that moon energy. It's highlighting inner shadows that need to go. So clearing fear right now and obstacles, ego obstacles. Fear is always ego. We are clearing a lot of programming though. And sometimes this is subconscious. We're not even aware of what we're doing. We're becoming more aware we're needing to clear these things. I know that we have a soul connection. I really do care even though I don't show it. And this could be something else going on. You know you care deeply about this person. You might act it or they might act it at times, but you know this is your person. You know this is such a deep love. Right here, I'm in love with you. I'm ready to take my mask off. This is, once again, healing ego programming and things like that. And when the ego comes out, this is where we both get triggered and things like that. Needing to heal. Twin flame is the only connection that helps us to dissolve our ego. Like, it doesn't make our ego feel good. It triggers us, right? Other connections are like, oh yeah, they're very pleasing for the ego, but twin flame is something that helps us to transcend the ego, to get into enlightenment and to really, really heals different things. So it challenges us a lot. Okay, I'm on the way to you. We're meant to be together. I will wait as long as it takes for a short wait. Some of you guys might be playing the waiting game. I always say don't wait though. Like if your person might take advantage of that they think that you're always just sitting there waiting. Like, we're done with that, right? We're done with all that because it can, affect things or delay things on their side if they believe that. Our story is not even close to being finished. I've seen visions and glimpses of our future together. Sometimes this is the resistance that you just want that future with this person, like, right? And maybe you're not understanding what's the hold up on either side or whatever it is. You just want to be with this person in full union right now. I know you're the one. It didn't feel good enough for you and knew I had more work to do. And I think this is the biggest hang up. Yes, you need to keep working on yourself. We're going to be healing as long as infinitely, across many lifetimes. We're not going to stop. But you have always been worthy and good enough for this person. They might always be kind of finding things that they say aren't good enough for them as excuses. Once again, ego excuses. But you've always been good enough for this person, right? Yes, you need to keep working on yourself and healing, but you've always been good enough right from the first meeting. Self-worth. So work on how you feel about yourself, self-esteem, and your confidence. The more that you empower yourself and the more that you're putting your focus and energy on yourself, the more this person's going to be magnetized to you too. So working on how you're showing up for yourself, but also in this union, in this connection. Only in losing you did I realize what I had. Sometimes you go through a lot of loss. This is grief. You can go through the stages of grief. I know I wrote about this in my books and things like that. It might be something that comes up multiple times when you're going through grief. You might go through a lot of heartache, anger, right? And things like that might even come to the surface. Inner child stuff, I always say. So you might have had to lose this person. You might have lost them many times. But I was reminding myself that if you're someone that's been through that, and you've had to lose this person, well, there's probably been a lot of timelines where you come together and reunite, right? That's the ending. That's the separation and the endings. But probably you've had a lot of meetings in a beautiful way. You're clearing karmic partners. This might be past things. This is society's expectations of you and how you think your life should look. This is what keeps people tethered to the old. These might be just hurts from previous karmic partners that you need to open up more with your twin flame, or even karmics around you. Be mindful of that kind of energy around you. It can get in the way, interfere, and throw off union. You're working on your sacred space. This might be prayer, meditation, altar. This might be redoing your house. This might be also just how you connect with the spiritual. You might want to make a meditation space in your home, bring some candles into it, sage, Palo Ciano, Florida water, right? And really work on your space. Make sure that your home is a tranquil place. And make it spiritual too. And this could be like maybe you need to declutter, clear out some old energy, or you're just needing to bring some more spiritual energy and spiritual practices into your home on the daily. It just kind of depends. Make sure that you're incorporating the spiritual more into your space. You should be doing more energy work, but also keeping the energy of your home clear. Things like sage will help with that, burning incense, herbs, things like that. All right, observe. Okay, you might be this is on your side too, but this is the masculine. The masculine is closer to you than they think. They watch you. They keep an eye on you. They also are very protective of you and your energy. They watch you from a distance on social media. I think that even when I see some of these masculines like withdraw and they go into the silence and into themselves, you'll notice that oftentimes they'll keep you on their social media. I see that with so many twin flames, right? You're like, what? They're ignoring you, you think, but there's a reason why. They're wanting to see what you're doing, and I don't know why, but they will. They're checking out your socials more than you think. All right, material world. You're focused on maybe healing something financially. So right now, with today's alignment, but also in Libra season, we have a huge focus as Libra is ruled by Venus, right? So we have all this Venus energy, it's goddess energy. It's healing your love life, it's healing your finances kind of energy. So this is sacral healing coming up. Are you maybe struggling in some of these areas? Have you maybe been having certain patterns that are coming up across this, we'll say incarnation, across this lifetime when it comes to love or finances? Barriers, blocks, like maybe you just want to up level your life in these areas. Maybe you just want to have healthier, happier connection with your twin flame, or maybe you want to heal something financially so that you're attracting and bringing more abundance and money into your life, or doing better materially. That's the kind of energy we're in right now. This is why I always recommend doing the energy work on my website. I have tons of healing specifically for these areas too. So maybe doing some energy healing work will help you in these areas. Okay, you're trying to let go. I always say the suitcase is like carrying around your past. You're letting go of a lot of past energies. You need to let go of things energetically. You might be carrying around some baggage This could be blocks, old patterns, habits, things like that. You're needing to let go of these things. You've gotten a lot of lessons from the past in these situations, but you're needing to also heal something from the past and things like that, okay? You're thinking about your twin flame a lot. You're missing them, like, especially if they're not around, or even if you're with them in union and they're like gone a little while, you're really missing this person. If you're in separation, it can be really, really soul shattering. That's the word we use, right? Soul shock and things like that. So you're missing this person. You're feeling their absence. You're thinking about them all the time. Know that's true for them on their side too. Like you always are thinking about this person since you met them. You might be unsure what to do and what decisions to make and things like that too. So we have this feeling of like, we have shame and guilt coming up. You feel bad about how things went. You're feeling some type of remorse about things on your side. It could have been how you acted. And it could be a million different reasons. It could be things said, patterns that have come up. Remember, twin flames are here to go through the harder parts together. They're here to help each other to break out of patterns and programming and things like that too. All right, you're a high value woman. You might be really abundant or successful. You might be confident. You could be very beautiful. It could just be how you carry yourself. This is total Empress energy, right? This is also a very homey kind of energy and home kind of card. And I love that too, because we're going back into the cocoon, and that's okay. Like, I know a lot of the Matrix is the opposite of what they show us and television programming and advertising and even on social media, but right now you're probably feeling a pull to get in your healing bubble or your healing space, and that goes with kind of making your home that space for you, your cocoon, right? Okay, and like slowing down. I had someone send me a video this morning talking about how they were really tired from the eclipse. I'm not, but I'm just saying, like, right, okay, like you're probably feeling some of the energy shifts and the changes hitting on planet Earth, and we might want to slow down a little bit as we're moving through some of these energies. As we're moving into the winter, we shall say too. You might be looking at pictures of your twin flame. You might be just thinking about them. As we said, you're noticing that they're gone, even if they're gone a few hours and they haven't called you or texted you for a little while, or worse yet, you're in some type of no contact, not a lot of communication, not a lot of movement, separation. Hold the faith right now. There's a lot going on. We have the Knight of Swords. Usually this is like your masculine's energy, and it could represent if they have like sun, moon, or rising in air, right? Because this is like that air sign energy. Usually this is them coming in strong, and they got a very airy energy. They come in strong. I always say fiery with flames. And like when we have this is like they want you, they go after what they want. They're fast, they're impulsive. And so this is like them reaching out impulsively too. But this is them in reverse. So there's a block with your masculine, and that they might be really focused on themselves right now. This is not in a positive way. Like, I know we want to do self-healing. They're like on some ego path or kick, and they're feeling out of control with the situation. So we have that kind of energy coming up, okay? And so we have this five of Pentacles. I think we had this yesterday, and this is like you might be feeling a lot of changes, but some of these don't feel good. This is like you feel hardships, you feel left out in the cold, like literally. This could indicate separation, breakup energy, rejection, right? You could feel like this person just keeps rejecting you, or union again and again, and you're like, hello, reunion, union is like the most beautiful vibe ever. Why aren't you getting on that kick with me, right? Like, right, it depends. And so you might be like feeling like this person's maybe pushed you aside or left you out in the cold and things like that. And both of you may be suffering from some of these choices, and it depends. So this is like you're missing this person. I don't know why. Maybe even if you're in union, you're feeling like they're distant or pushing you out or closing you out. Or if you're in a separation, you're really, really feeling it. And I said last time, this is like Get Spiritual card. This will help you with your awakening and shifting this into union, because you do have to shift this into union. And oftentimes some of the biggest blocks to getting into union, they're energetic blocks, and they're shifting your belief system. And that's why I always say to do that, the healings with me in Twin Flame Coaching. It will help you with these things, because we have to do a lot of deep work oftentimes. We want to stay in a balanced, harmonious union. Libra season is amazing for that. So we have this Death card. This is some type of ego death, but it's changing, so there might be ending and beginning. So Separation indicates endings, reunion, union, but new beginning, right? And so you might be going through some changes and transformation because there's a big spiritual transformation that's happening within your awakening, and that's so important during this time too. So this could be like sudden changes and shifts. Like you guys could be in union 1 minute, in separation the next. You could be in separation 1 minute and in reunion and union the next. So this is letting go of old situations that are no longer serving you and beliefs. Especially if you're working towards coming into full union, or if you're in separation, this is where I feel both twin flames are, I say, pulled back to work on your own life. You got to do the inner work, and your twin flame can't do that with you oftentimes. It's to let go of the old more fully and to release things. And that's what we do in the autumn and the winter. And so we have the Sun card, and this is in reverse. So you might feel sad and depressed. Like right underneath, you might be purging out a lot of emotional energy at times. Like you might have your days like you're fine most of the time, but you got those days and you're spinning, and there's a lot of emotional purges and things like that. And so make sure that you're staying focused on the positive, and not writing, scripting more separation narratives from your ego, and staying focused on union, especially if that's what you desire. And don't let those negative thoughts and vibes take over, because we have the Ten of Swords. This is a lot of pain that you've been through. And yes, this is a twin flame. You could feel like this is all of the way. So we're dealing with Pluto energy. This is broken promises. Like your twin flame might have, made a lot of grand gestures and promises and broken them all to you. They might have hurt you a lot. They might have put you through a lot of separation cycles. They might have rejected you. They might have, been ignoring you. That's like a big thing coming up that sometimes we go through in things like this. They might have put you in dark night of the soul or separation energies, and they might have really thrown your life off course with all of this. It just kind of depends. And so this is all of the wounds that you've been through. Yes, from this twin flame situation, this person may have hurt you deeply and maybe isn't acknowledging that even, right? And things like that. I don't want to say everything might be all about them on their side. Okay, so they've left you with a lot of wounds. Now, some of these wounds could be from the twin flame connection, hopefully not. Some of them might be old wounds that their new stuff has triggered to the surface too. So this could indicate old wounds around love, or old, things like that you need to heal and you need to work on. Because oftentimes I've found that the twin flame oftentimes just plays out the patterns that we carry anyway with what will happen with the twin flame narrative and how it will go. So if you haven't healed from the past is going to continue to replay, right, until you heal from it. No different in the twin flame narrative too. So this could just be letting go of the wounds around love and things like that around love that you're here to heal. Now, when we deal with this Moon and Venus conjunction, it's all about shadow work and illuminating the shadow and things not being what they seem in many ways or areas of our life too. So we have that kind of energy coming up of healing what lies underneath on a subconscious level. And reality is always just bringing the subconscious into the conscious by what is playing out in your reality. No different than twin flame. So you might need to let go of some hurt or heal some certain things. Depends on if it's with this person or it's just from previous stuff. You'll know, okay, of what you're healing. You're guided through it. Let's see. I'm missing some cards. Okay, so we're going to do a quick reading for the Divine Masculine. I do have one more card for the Divine Feminine. I'm going to get to it one sec. I'm just getting some more cards going. And we'll do the Divine Masculine. Real quick, closing up Divine Feminine. This is the Page of Pentacles. And it's, once again, it's in reverse. It's indicating that you have some type of blocks coming up. This could be around your health, energy, or even finances, because this is the Pentacle card and things like that. You might feel like you flow a lot better when you're in union. And when you're in separation, certain things are coming up, right? Or it could highlight blocks or things like that. You might be having a hard time balancing everything. Like if you're someone who like works a ton or does a lot, some of you guys are moms working, right, and doing a lot, you might find it hard to balance the twin flame union on top of that. And so sometimes you're getting balanced within yourself so that you and your twin flame can come together in a more balanced way, because sometimes you guys might have a lot going on or vice versa. Okay, we're going to do Divine Masculine. And then real quick before I do the Divine Masculine, make sure you check out my website. I do have special activations and healings that I'm doing today. I usually pin those on my Facebook pages or Insta pages too, and things like that. Like I'm always trying to post them everywhere, but you can find anything in my shop, and you can always do anything in my shop anyways. I have stuff up for the next couple of days, and then I'll get some new stuff up too. So check out my site for sure, sparksofdivinelightshealing.com. Make sure you're liking and following my page if you're finding this video. Okay, Divine Masculine Collective, and then just Divine Feminine if you're watching, direct messages from your masculine. I'm trying to move on, but thoughts of you still linger and I can't control you. This person can't move on. They might have tried 100 times, like been dismissive and tried to move on. Usually when triggered, they can't get you off of their mind. They might be having a hard time sorting out their feelings. They know you're the one. They know you're the person. And if they've tried to move on, they know that's impossible. They might have actually tried it though. Sometimes that's how we learn. Trying things around here. They might have actually tried it, but they know they can't. You're on their mind very heavily right now. Would I be rejected if I contacted you? Do you still want me? They might feel like you're done with them and that you don't want them. This could be nothing to do with Divine Feminine. It could just be deeper rejection trauma from, earlier in life and past relationships or childhood or whatever it is, and things like that. They might have felt like you were rejecting them, maybe how you were talking to them or whatever it was too. They're dealing with some type of trauma from this, from the past that's been triggered to the surface. I feel like I don't even know who I am anymore. When you go through all these, go into past versions of ourselves to heal things and ego death, and it can feel like that. I know I went through a lot of that in the beginning of meeting my twin flame, of like flipping through, right? Right? You'll be like, what? I had to go into all of this old timelines and aspects, and it can be confusing to clear and close things out, and like things coming up, and you're all over the place with twin flame, but you'll get to this place where you've been through all of that within the healing. So a lot of healing comes to the surface, and this is for the masculine. They're doing a lot of healing during this time. You were the love of my life. I didn't figure that out before. I now know it's true. They know that you're not just anyone. You're the love of their life. Like there's always that one, right? Like across time and space, across many incarnations. And if you're lucky enough, you'll be able to come together and stay in union and things like that. Because in every lifetime we don't. And, it just kind of depends for each person. My memories of you haunt me and keep me thinking about what could have been. This person is up late at night. They're up early in the morning thinking about you. You're on their mind. They're trying to stay busy. They're trying to put you out of their mind. They think about the future and how different it could have been. I always say that when it's very bleak, staying in the ego reality. And when you come into union, it's just so much better, obviously, right? And they think about it. They think about how different their life would be. But this is one of the blocks for them too, that they had to get out of their comfort zone and risk things, and that it was like their old life was holding them back, and that's easy. They can just, go, I say, go Netflix and chill and go lay around and not do much. And this would have taken a lot of work, and that they would have had to change their life and their reality. And that's what Twin Flame helps us to do, because we need to let go of the 3D and they need to shift into the 5D. And this person is taking comfort in the 3D of the old and people holding them back. And that's easy for them. They've been doing that their whole life. And this union requires them to jump timelines and things like that. We have the home energy. Some of them were required to move in with the feminine, and once again, this might be a lot of work too. So we have things coming up with the timelines for the Divine Masculine. They're old timelines that they may have taken comfort in and refuge in, are getting a little shaky, or things aren't going good there. I still feel deeply connected to you, but I won't admit it. This person might not be telling you about their feelings. They fantasize about you. You're on their mind all the time. Yes, in that way. They might not like to reveal that, right? Like they might act like that's not true. They think about you in more ways than they want you to know. Yes, in that way too, okay? And I'll just put this out there, I shouldn't, but there is such a strong sexual attraction between twin flames like no one else too. It's just such a magnetic on every level kind of thing. I had someone say they were dating and that they didn't think this was their person, and that it was okay on one level but not the other. Twin flame is the one across every level. Yes, physical, spiritual, sexual, like every level, right? Mental, like conversations for hours. You never get sick of each other. You always can talk about things, right? On that physical level, best sex ever. And like on the spiritual level too, that this person is going to help you with who you want to be and who you want to become. And they might even hold a lot of those good traits and positive traits, right? Because yeah, they got the shadow, we know that. But they might be very aligned with your spiritual mission and your purpose and your soul gifts, and just on every level too. I want to make things right. They want to heal things with you. They want to fix things with you. I don't want to be toxic anymore. Wanting to clear the toxicity from this connection. It's always the ego that comes up with the old patterns, behaviors, right? Things like that. Old self, healing these things. I've been manifesting you. This masculine is manifesting the future they want with you more than you know. You tame my demons. I underestimated how important you are in my life. This person is waking up or having realizations and revelations about how important you are, Divine Feminine. My soul wants to merge with yours. We just talked about that. And this is so past the physical, because sometimes we don't understand this. I saw a beautiful post put in my group when I was approving post this morning on my Facebook group talking about alchemical marriage and just how powerful this is too on the spiritual level, because we can't do this with anyone but our twin flame. And yes, it comes across usually in the sex way, right? Because we'll see in the bedroom, right? Or whatever. But it's so much more. And this is the true spiritual marriage between polarities. It's almost like the moon and the sun merging together and this special energy being created with twin flame. You need to raise your frequency to come back together. Work on your energy. Work on your energy. Work on feeling good, Divine Masculine. You need to heal how you're seeing things. A shift in perspective is needed. You might be changing your mindset. Trust me, we were fated to meet, and I am your destiny. I'm clearing my karmic past and healing from the karmic relationships I've been through. Be patient. Some of the past relationships I was in have hurt me deeply and have left me wounded. And there's a lot of deep wounds around karmics and things like that. This is why I never get why they don't get rid of them. What? Some of the masculines are still carrying these karmics around, whether still married to them, still in relationships with them, but all they do is complain about them and talk about how horrible they are. All right. Okay, but it's also the wounds from these connections and things like that, okay? They're still working through some of their karmic past. Every day I pray to be with you. All right, so they're working on healing. This is be gentle with yourself and your twin flame. Some of you guys, I say this about masculine, are so hard on your twin flame. When you've healed, you'll be more patient with the Divine Feminine, and this will come across, or softer with the Divine Feminine. Some of you guys are really stern with them or not as open emotionally as you could be, okay? This can come across as control. Control is always fear of trying to control the situation. This could be stagnation, release the need to control the situation. So with your karmics, they were always below you. You always were in this control drama with them. You always made sure to have the upper hand. Now, twin flame is equals, and a lot of the masculine is struggling with this because we're coming out of, I don't want to say this, a patriarchal society where the masculine, especially 50, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 300 years ago, they had the upper hand, but these were toxic relationships. They were not good. They're slavery. You're like, okay, of the feminine. Oh my God, enslavement in the feminine. And the masculine loved that. They could control the feminine, right? Like a little pawn. But these were boring, okay? We say this is boring. It's not going to be what the masculine wanted either, okay? And things like that. And to control out of fear and things like that. So now we have this new paradigm of twin flame love, 5D love, where you're equals and the universe is going to make sure of it, okay? Like, right? This is power couple stuff. It's not the goddess paradigm. That I should have done that rant for the feminine. That's the masculine bowing down to the feminine. It is not the patriarchal of the feminine bowing down to the masculine as God. So it's neither. It's literally coming together as equals into a power couple kind of thing, right? And this is why so many of us are having to balance many aspects of our life, but energetically to come into a true union and partnership and things like that. Letting go of any control patterns, okay? You're not going to be able to control this. So oftentimes the more controlling tendencies to have, the more out of control you may feel. Not with your feminine, with the universe, because it's past both of your control, some of the aspects that are going to come up, right? And it's about the ego. I think all of life is anyways. Rise above any drama or obstacles and things like that. So this is like finding the strength to rise. Okay, raising your frequency. This is all about your energy and staying more positive. Raise your vibration and you can get what you desire. This is that union. Masculine is trying to manifest union too. Some of you might be in a no contact. You could be blocked, getting the silent treatment. You're noticing they're not texting you at all. They might have cut off all communication too. This is like, if you're in that energy on either side, throat chakra work to open up communication more. Divine Masculine, this is a reading for you. So you may need to open up your throat chakra and to better communicate your feelings. Oftentimes you're hurting not just your Divine Feminine doing that, but yourself. Okay. Some of you guys are spending time with other people. not for everyone, but some of them might be dating, sneaking around. I say keeping your options open, not wanting to retire is your single status, and trying to see what else is out there. There's no other reason sometimes. This isn't for everyone, but some of you guys know that too. All right, some of you guys, we have a soul contract despite all of this. This is to come into spiritual union. You have a soul contract with your twin flame to do union in this lifetime if you have met them. You know you're on the twin flame journey. You have unfinished business with this person. If you're apart, if you're separated, there will be a reconciliation happening right now, like literally. Some of you guys are acting very selfish, inflexible, and bossy. Make sure you're not being too stubborn about all of this. You're actually really obsessed with your feminine. There's a mutual attraction and things like that. So you're actually infatuated with this person. You think about them a lot more than you want them to know, or you care about them. You might hide your feelings, but you know that. Okay, I'm not going to go too into this card because we had it yesterday. This is King of Pentacles, and this is like flipped. Some of you guys are being materialistic. You're focused on other people. You know, some of you have gotten, I don't want to say this for everyone, some of you have been entertaining karmics and hanging out. I say the avoiding goes in parties and clubs, and you've gotten really bad karmic repercussions for it if you've chosen your own ego and not to do union, because you hurt your partner on the other side of this. So this is like the fall. It's like after the tower, right? And with this card, it's like you were on your high horse, we'll say, and you were really great in life. You might have blown off your divine feminine to go do other stuff. Okay, this is where divine intervention steps in too, and things like that. So you might have taken some type of bad risk. You might have thought another path would have been better. Ooh, like not knowing all roads lead back to union. So you might have thought you go down your own ego path, and that, you know, might have been, sometimes it's the matrix and money and glitter or other feminines pulling you that way, or listening to everyone else that takes you down these other paths. Because if you're listening to your own guidance, you're going to be in union, right? That's what the divine wants. We can, with free will, do what our ego wants, but in the scope of things, we don't even really have that option. So you might be going through a rough time right now if you haven't chosen to do union or the path to union, and you've been trying to choose yourself a little too much or being selfish about things, okay? Now, because of that, you have a lot of fear and anxiety that's coming up and things like that, okay? You feel out of control with things. And this is my angel card. So the angels are around you, but instead of turning to the angels, because there's a block here within the spiritual, you've been focused on the matrix, alcohol, food, sex, drugs, shopping, right? And that you're not feeling very peaceful and at calm, because you'll feel good in union. And if apart or in separation, you're not feeling good about things. None of these things are filling that void, right? We call it a void. Only this union can, once you've met this person too. So it's like you go into the love bubble. It's the most amazing high ever, most beautiful feeling ever. If you are unlucky enough to end up in separations, you're always trying to get that back. You're always trying to get that high back. Nothing else is going to fill it. So you go back to the old matrix vices and you try, and it makes it worse. So we have that kind of energy coming up. Okay, Seven of Swords. This is like, once again, we have things coming out or being revealed with this moon energy and things like that. We have a lot kind of coming up too. Know that things are coming out with the shadows and stuff like this. Make sure you're playing your heart cards right. You've been hiding stuff from your twin flame. This could be, I always say, things you're doing outside of the connection. You might be acting sneaky, right? You could be just your feelings and things like that. This is like the person taking everything and sneaking off into the night. Like, right? Oh my God. I'm like, right? Okay. You might be, yeah, well, when you're, remember, and then I'm going to do my rant now. Twin flames have powerful gifts and abilities. Your twin flame, same with you. You can see your twin flame like no one else. That's why you guys are always calling each other out on things you need to work on. So you guys have powerful gifts and abilities. Doesn't matter if you're apart. They're going to kind of sense what's going on with you, what you're doing, and things like that, okay? So there might have been things that have come out into the light that you weren't liking. Okay, so we have the Nine of Cups. And this is like, you're disappointed right now. Usually it's wish fulfillment and manifesting your twin flame kind of energy, but you might feel a little bit like you're not as successful as you'd like. Your dreams have been shattered. And you're feeling kind of in a negative mindset. You haven't gotten what you want out of life, because if you are a twin flame, that's what you're supposed to be achieving, is twin flame union. So sometimes the other stuff could be going either way. It depends on how this is manifesting too. So you're not happy especially if in separation, you're really not happy without your twin flame, you're finding out. So we have this Nine of Swords. You're up at night, you can't sleep. This is fear and anxiety, worrying about things. Some of you guys are not in the best mental health. I see a lot of twin flames I know that have done a lot of separations, especially the masculine, and it fucks your head up. It's bad for your mental health and things like that. You might be having bad dreams. I remember that the last separation, night one, I woke up in a panic knowing I was off my timeline and it was all wrong. And so it could be something like that. It could just be like the thoughts in your head and, you know, whatever it is going on with your mindset. This is coming up big time right now for the masculine, but especially if apart from the twin flame and things like that. So we have the Five of Wands. There might have been some type of conflict. And this is like coming into a peaceful resolution, could be talking things through, coming into a harmony. This is peace and a harmony and things going smoothly. You may need to resolve something. This could be a block within the connection, or this could have been some type of issue that come up within the connection. You're being guided to resolve it and to come into a peaceful resolution. This can help to shift you out of separation into reunion and union, or if you're in union, to just make things go smoother, to kind of talk things through or share your feelings, or to iron out some of the blocks, issues, or things that might have come up. I feel that's common, especially if you guys are trying to come out of separation. Some issues might come up to work through, or if you're in a union, obviously things are going to come up. I feel that, you know, the most mature relationships are going to kind of talk things out and kind of just move through things fast and stuff like that. Sometimes when you're dealing with immaturity, people will avoid or silent treatment. And I say this is a passive aggressive way to get their way instead of just talking things out and moving through it. So communication is key to having a healthy relationship and to move through things on either side. Being guided to open up on that level too. We're going deep. We got a lot of Scorpio energy. I know we're still in Libra season, but it's to prepare us for Scorpio season, which will come next after this. But while we're in Libra season, we're also dealing with a lot of that Scorpio energy. It's here to help us to balance things. Sometimes it's bringing up a lot of healing to the surface so that we can shift into a deeper harmony and balance within ourselves energetically. All right, I'm going in that note anyways, but have a beautiful day. If you need me, just go ahead and book me on my website. Recommending you guys are checking out the healings and readings that I'm doing on there. Check out my twin flame coaching. I also have tons of classes I teach on there. Have a beautiful day.